Oh, there was no transition this time, Goalie?
Nope.
No transition?
No transition.
Well, welcome everyone to the Sticks podcast, the TheSTiKSLive podcast. I just want to call it the Sticks podcast. I think it's better when it says this is the Sticks. Either way, this is episode 74. That's a lot of episodes. Now, me, Goalie, and obviously Jen haven't been for every single one of them. But Goalie, how does it feel to be 74 podcasts in? What does it feel like?
I feel like an old
You
man.
feel old.
Like what?
I am an old man, right?
I see that beard you're growing. I see it. Or have you just forgot to shave?
I'm just too lazy. Let's be honest.
You had on your Gunners earlier, and you look like one of the Call of Duty Ghost characters. Put him on really quick.
Yeah, you need to.
I'm an MLG pro now, guys. It's official.
If you had a weapon strapped on your back, I'd be freaked out. I'd actually be a little bit scared. But okay, really quickly, guys, before we hop into today's show, basically, I'm gonna bring up something really fast because we've kind of reformatted the show. This is not going to just solely be on Call of Duty. It's gonna be video games in general. Obviously, we'll be touching on Call of Duty and stuff. We want this to be more real, not just based on how much stuff happened in the Call of Duty community this past week, is whether or not we'll have a show or how much show depth there really is to it. We're just gonna have a podcast where we talk about stuff. You're here for the people. And you're also here for the stuff that we talked about. So that's kind of what we're doing. You'll kind of notice a couple of different things here and there. And we're hoping to have a lot more people on, whoever it may be, whether it's Kingdom, whoever it may be, who just isn't as involved with the Call of Duty scene, but can be on due to what we're talking about, which isn't just Call of Duty. So we're targeting a number of different stuff. Call of Duty will be involved. Just going to say that now. But yeah, just letting you guys know that ahead of time. And it's going to start off, a new podcast, new year, 2016. Everyone's kind of hyped about it. So what we're going to do first is we're going to go over our introductions. To put in perspective, this is like say you're going on a dating website and you have to give a quick introduction about yourself, what your interests are, what you do. If you don't do anything, whatever it may be, just say something about yourself. I'm going to start off with Tommy because Tommy's used to it. Then I'm going to go to Goalie. Then I'm going to go to Jen, and I'm going to kind of give my last introduction as you go into the first topic. So Tommy, if you'd be ever so kind to give us your quick introduction. Not as good as Goalies, though. Ever.
Well, my interest has been limited to now. I make videos on the internet, according to Goalie. So that is pretty much what I do. I also make content for Excel, affiliated with a couple of other organizations. But my main job is basically to make content, mainly video content, to do with Call of Duty Esports at the moment. Plain and simple.
I like it. Nice. I like your shirt.
Oh, thanks, pal. No problem. I like yours too.
Thanks.
Sorry, this isn't a dating website. Carry on.
Oh god. Oh gosh. Okay, Goalie.
We're on esportscouples.com. That's why we brought Jen on today.
Like a bachelor. We got one, two.
Bachelor number one.
You've got so much choice.
You could be on Envy or Optic. Which one would you choose and why?
Oh my.
Oh god. Think wisely.
Pick wisely, yes. All right, Goalie.
Okay. Hi, my name's Goalie. I run Codpedia. I run the Sticks, and yeah.
Should be something else.
It's snowing outside. It's snowing outside. I know.
Cold.
I haven't been streaming because
I
hate all the broadcasting programs. They're just frustrating.
Why?
They're just frustrating. Every single program has one issue that makes me hate it. So.
Okay. You're not just a hater. You just dedicated to your job.
I'm a dedicated hater. Is that what you were gonna say?
Okay. I mean, we could. That's all. I can mean your dating profile as well if you wanted to be. Dedicated hater.
This is really awkward because I have a girlfriend. I've just realized.
Oh.
This is awkward.
Just bring Emma on. She can be a bachelor. She can be another bachelor.
It doesn't have to be. I'm just saying.
Side chick hour.
It could be in that format.
Okay, let's just stop before I say something I shouldn't.
Okay. Well, Jen, go ahead and give your introduction. If you
Well, I wouldn't say anything esports related on a dating website unless you just don't
want
to pick up anybody ever.
I don't know why I said that.
I'm Jen, Lemon Kiwi. I host, commentate, do stuff on the internet too, I guess. And I do YouTube sometimes, just recently. And I do science in real life sometimes.
You do science?
Yeah, I'm a microbiologist and
that sounds technical.
IRL, so.
What does a microbiologist do exactly? Because
studies microscopic organisms. In particular, I study bacteria. So, yeah. Nice to be on the show, though. So thank you guys for having me on. And all your dating profiles suck. And
wow, I'm offended.
One way to come on the show. Look, you upset Goalie.
Goalie left. Sorry, you ring the bell and you change shirts.
We need to run commercials. He has to be here. Okay, there. Hey,
Yeah, I have to be here. Otherwise, we don't have a show, so I can't leave.
What if you just left and we couldn't? Or what if you
We
fell
would
asleep?
never be able to stop streaming. We'd be live for eternity.
Twitch would just kick us off eventually, right?
Would they?
Yeah,
They were like, you've been on for too long.
It's a 24-hour stream. Let's do it.
We're not Bob Ross. We don't get the fame.
That would be terrible. That's like the worst thing I think we might have ever had if we did. If we were to do a 24-hour podcast.
We would just have to hit up Golden Boy and it's like, hey, can you kick us off, please? You know, we didn't turn off the stream.
Can we get kicked off the stream, please? That'd be great. Can you hit us offline? What if we asked for that to happen? That probably wouldn't be good.
Someone
Okay.
DDoS us.
So
Yeah.
I should have never brought
Please
up the dating profiles things. I just ruined the whole entire introductions. But either way, Landon, 19, single and ready to mingle.
Oh.
I'm kidding. I like long walks on the beach, something like that. Actually, that doesn't sound good. I don't
Are
like.
you okay today, Landon?
I feel kind of weird.
I was gonna say you're not your usual self.
I've been going to sleep really, really late and waking up like I'm usually a person that wakes up around like 8 or 9. Like that's like an average waking up time. I'm not one of those freaks who wakes
If you
up
haven't
at
had
5 in the
school.
morning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but like I haven't been going to school. But still, I usually wake up around like 8 to 9. And lately I've been going to bed at like 2 or 3 in the morning, which is not like me at all. And I've just been off. I've just been completely off. And I don't know. I feel strange. What time do you guys normally go to bed? Goalie, you go to bed at like 4 in the morning sometimes.
I go to bed like 2, 3, 4.
2?
There's no point to getting up early because none of the like esports related announcements happen until like 5 p.m. anyways. So
That's a good one.
Yeah, I stay up late too, and I don't like waking up early, so we're complete opposites.
Yeah, it's just it's a weird thing. Maybe I'm just getting off schedule. I just feel odd. I don't know. I feel like I'm like coming out right now. It's like
I probably wake up most mornings the time Goalie goes to bed.
yeah,
it's true.
Probably, roughly, give or take.
Good point. Well, I wanted to bring this up really quick because we're doing a new type of, like I said, introduction. We're also going to do some new topics. And the first topic that we're going to do is the best game of 2015. Like we said, it's a new year, 2016, new year, new time, new experiences and stuff. Well, either way, we're going to go back to 2015. I just completely ignored what I was trying to do earlier. And we're going to try to digress and form an opinion on what was the best game of 2015. Now, in the document that I have for you guys, I did have a link, so if you guys want to click on that, that's just like a Google image search for the top games of 2015. So we're going to go over this, and we're going to try to figure out which one that we like personally, and one that we can kind of come as a unit and decide for one. Okay, so that's what we're going to try to do. So I'm going to name off a couple games that were released in 2015, being like The Witcher 3, Fallout 4, Metal Gear Solid 5, Bloodborne, Star Wars Battlefront, Black Ops 3, Halo 5, Life is Strange, Until Dawn, Heroes of the Storm, H1Z1, Rocket League, Rainbow Six, Just Cause 3. There's a bunch of different games that came out in 2015. And I'm going to ask you guys, what is your favorite game? What is the best game in your opinion of 2015? One that made a major difference. And we'll kind of talk about that for a second. So does anyone already have one? Because I have one. I obviously made the topics. Does anyone have one off the bat? And the chat can also be involved as well as we have this little talk, the short talk. But Goalie, are you raising your hand?
Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. Even though that came out in 2014, technically.
That doesn't count. It came out in 2014. You're disqualified.
Okay, I'm disqualified.
No, but do you actually have a serious one, Goalie?
No.
What?
I would have thought you'd say Rocket League.
If I was to say one, I would say Rocket League, but I honestly
Yeah.
didn't like any of the games that came out this last year. I thought they all kind of
are
were
you?
crap. But
You played.
I play Rocket League and I play Heroes of the Storm and
I thought you were going to say Heroes of the Storm. That's why I literally said it. I said that only
the
because of you.
beta technically came out in 2014.
Well,
And what was the other? I've played Counter-Strike. Like that came out in 2013, 2012. Yeah, I haven't played any games that came out this year at
Yeah, I'm a
all.
little struggling on that too.
So,
see, this is like the 2015 was like the golden age. Apparently, what was supposed to be like the golden age for games coming out. All the major releases like Fallout, Witcher 4 or Witcher 3 was coming out. Metal Gear Solid 5. Like this was like the ultimate lineup. Was like the last 4 months of this year. And Goalie is sitting here telling me that he has not played one game from 2015.
no, like I bought The Witcher 3.
How was that? I've never played The Witcher 3, but what I watched and what people said, they said it's fantastic.
I only played 10 hours of it. I just couldn't get into it. Yeah, I know.
Great review.
I played Dragon Age in 2015,
Okay.
but that came out in 2014, so that doesn't count. Like, I look over at my game shelf, there's nothing over there, man.
Okay, Tommy or Jen, did you guys play at least any games? Because Goalie apparently has only played like
Bro,
hardly all.
I work full time on a Wikipedia. There's no time to play video games.
Why didn't you mention that in your profile earlier? I would have understood.
Someone just said C+ review in the comments. That sums up what you just said.
Oh no.
That's totally.
Yeah, I played this game, but I only played it for 10 hours, and I didn't play this game, but I thought it was alright. I don't know what I'm doing with my hands.
Like, Witcher 3 was definitely the most beautiful game that I played. I know Undertale has been talked a lot about recently, but that also came out recently. I haven't played it. I know you guys wouldn't have played it because that's not your style of game, but yeah. So
Okay.
Big
You're honest.
I agree with Snacks that Minecraft was the best game, 100%.
What?
What?
Where are you going with this? You don't play this game. Okay, moving on. I'm gonna give my opinion.
Thank you.
Although I didn't play it and I haven't played it today, I think the game that made the biggest impact of 2015 was Rocket League.
Okay.
Simply because of the fact that there was so much hype when this game came out, all about the esports revolving around it, yada yada yada. Goalie, I think you would say Rocket League. I think you're just kind of kidding yourself. Yeah, Rocket League.
Actually, Hockey League mode was amazing though.
See,
there was a hockey version where the ball was a puck. And
That's
that was
really?
amazing, yes.
Oh, cool.
It's
I'm gonna
gone
look this
now
up.
because I think it's gone now because it was like a Christmas exclusive thing. But I got a couple friends together and we played that for hours.
Hockey League, Rocket League.
It was just like it was hockey mode. We called it Hockey
That
League.
is amazing. That is fantastic.
And they actually had a public playlist for it, so you could go play 3v3s with it.
That is
Oh, that's sick.
okay. So technically, Tommy answered for Goalie and made him choose Rocket League.
Yeah, there we go. Okay.
I represent Goalie now, so I speak on behalf.
Yeah,
of
he's
him
my
and myself.
agent.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, if you want to get in contact with him, just speak to me, okay?
I'll let you know. Yeah. Okay. Well, Jen, do you have a game of 2015 that you enjoyed or you think deserves to be the best game of 2015?
I hope no one kills me, but I've actually never played Rocket League because I thought the whole concept of driving cars and hitting balls was literally stupid, but apparently it's really fun, and it just the concept seems weird to me. But from the games I played, I think Fallout, I don't want to say the obvious answer, but Witcher 3 and Fallout 4 were probably the biggest games with the most work in them, and just the story and the amount of hours you put into it. I personally would say Fallout 4 because I'm a Fallout 4 bandwagon, and I don't think Fallout has won like games of the year in the past, and now that Fallout 4 just totally exceeds every previous Fallout. But then Witcher also won a bunch of awards at that last game show, so like I think it's going to be a tie, or not a tie, but between those two. But I've also haven't played like half of these games. Like,
Yeah.
So
In
kind of not the best opinion.
the
but-
esports world, especially, I feel like we don't have time to play a lot of these games because we're so damn focused on a single game.
or the
Like,
bank account when games are like $70-$80 a piece.
Yeah,
you know?
that too.
Like,
Games are expensive these days. I don't know. Like I remember going to Walmart and I remember like trying to buy a $20 game for like my PS2, and my dad was like, "That is way like that's way too expensive." And now I'm like,
That's dirt cheap now.
yeah,
I think
it's
$60
worth it if you
is.
play it a lot.
I think $60 is cheap for a game nowadays, but that's another
Well,
discussion
it kinda
entirely.
depends like how in depth I think a game is though.
Mhm.
Like if you buy a solid campaign lasts for like a number of different hours, I think it's worth it. Like Black Ops 3, it has a multiplayer version, it has a campaign version. I think it's kind of worth it. But some games are just I don't know. It doesn't. Some sports games just have no depth to them whatsoever.
And then the Steam sales hit. Yes, I bought some games in the Steam sale. I loved it. It was great.
Did you?
Yeah.
Steam sales are wonderful. That's like the one great thing
It was
about
like
games.
some of the like the biggest titles were like 40% off. It's like, how could I not?
Okay. I'm looking at the chat, looking at some games besides Big Snacks, who said Minecraft. I'm seeing some Fallout 4s. I saw someone mention Rocket League. For my opinion, I thought Until Dawn was an amazing amazing game. It was like I don't really know how to explain it, but it was like a horror game, but it was like real life actors were actually the characters. The graphics were amazing, and like people were like live streaming. It was like the biggest game for like maybe a week or so because like everyone was playing it constantly. Obviously, Witcher 3, Fallout 4, you can name Rocket League, other games as well, which were fantastic. Black Ops 3 included. I like Black Ops 3 a lot. But as far as like a campaign game that like literally had me hooked, I'm gonna say Until Dawn. I think it's a good game. If you haven't played it, at least watch a Let's Play on it because it's worth it. I'm just gonna say that right now. I heard a thing, by the way, on PlayStation talking about this idea of having PlayStation favorites, which I think is kind of interesting for the fact that now, when this new update comes out, whenever you have notifications turned on or off, you can actually have certain friends who you only get invites from that like show up.
Oh, that'd be wonderful.
I think that's a cool idea.
Yeah, especially at like when you're streaming.
I hate
it's
it.
extremely frustrating to get notifications constantly because you have people that are in the stream that just randomly invite you for no reason or spam you.
Exactly.
And I only want to receive invites from people that I actually care about.
You care about it. out of us three in here, you choose one person. Who do you get invites from?
Tommy.
Yeah, he knows. He knows.
Tommy's always there for me. Unlike
you. Am I not? I'm not. I didn't think that
the guy on the other side of the pond wins the race. Yes. I'm putting that on my CV. Just going straight on it.
Your CV? What?
It's like the equivalent of your resume, I believe.
CV? Really? I never heard of that before.
Yeah, well, it's just like food shopping. Let's not go there. We have conversations about this every week.
Don't have to get defensive, all right? I'm
sorry.
A couple things here and there. I think it's a cool idea though. I saw it. It's like a rumor that's going to happen. I saw a couple people posting about it. I think it'd be really cool. I'm just pointing that out. I think it'd be kind of cool to see what had happened. So guys, if you want to, speaking on PlayStation, speaking on games in general, whether in the YouTube comments, whether in the Twitch chat, still feel free to put what you thought was the top game of 2015 down in the comments. I know that we fully experienced all the games, and I didn't really want to do the topic until everyone had played Black Ops 3, everyone had played Halo 5, kind of considerably. So let us know what you guys think and who you think deserves to have it, and we'll kind of maybe discuss the results later on. So what I'm going to do now, I have a cool part of the show, which I think is probably one of the best things that's ever happened. I'm going to start a series, and I'm going to have a little video pop up before this happens every week called Fact or Fake, where I read 5 different random things, like kind of random facts, random things that sound like facts, where you guys have to choose and decipher which one is which. You guys excited about this? Because I'm incredibly excited. Everyone's being silent.
I'm intrigued.
You're intrigued?
Yeah.
I told you about this before the show, and you got really excited.
I know, that's true. I'm trying to act it off like kind of cool. I'm kind of going for that cool look, but I feel like you just ruined it. So can we just
No, I have the cool look, Tommy. Okay. You can't compete.
Wait, where am I?
You can't compete.
Wait, I've got a pair somewhere. I swear to God, I've lost them. But
I got my scuff.
I swear to God, I'll be on your level.
You just put on glasses. I didn't see. See, like my camera thing like freezes all the time, so I can't even see what you guys are doing right now.
Oh, that's a shame.
Jen's looking that way. Tommy's doing like this, and then Goalie's like this with his glasses on, and I don't know.
Yeah,
I feel like this would be the opportunity, like the best moment to prank Landon, because he just wouldn't know what was going on. He would just think like, just like we did to Hitch the other week.
See, I'm looking at the stream right now, finding out what's going on, what you guys are actually doing. So Goalie took off his glasses.
Yes, I've taken them off now.
That was about a minute ago.
I'm sorry. I apologize. All right. So should we do fact or fake? I wish we had like a little introduction, but we don't.
We'll make one. I'll get one made or something.
Fact or fake?
All right. Oh, do that again. Do that again. Do that again.
Fact or fake?
There we go. That's what we're going to do from now on. All right. So 5 facts or 5 fake facts that you guys have to decipher from. We'll go one by one, and I'll ask you guys indirectly whether you guys think it is a fact or a fake, and whoever wins gets like a prize or gets like a mark on a board or something. We'll keep track. We'll keep track, and we'll do this every week. Goalie, can you keep track?
Yeah.
Can you do that? Thank you. See, Goalie's always on the ball. I appreciate that. All right, the chat can also, attract if they want to, and if you're in the YouTube comments, technically you can lie and skip forward to find out what was a fact or what was a fake. But I'm just gonna agree that you all will be, upright people about that. So the first question, or the first fact or faked fact, whatever, is Christopher Columbus never set foot on what is now the United States. Is that a fact or is it fake? Christopher Columbus never set foot on what is now the United States?
What is now the United States?
What is now the United States? And if we have any geography or any history people in here, I know Jen's biology. So
well, my history says that Christopher Columbus discovered the US, but I know with a lot of these things, it's always like, oh, well, technically it was actually this person.
It could be one of those, or I could have chose this knowing that.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna say it's fact.
Fact. Okay, Tommy says fact.
I'm confident in myself.
Do you think it's a fact, or do you think it's fake? I'll read it one more time. I'll read it again.
And then his goalie
Columbus. This is not. No one can Google this. Everyone, hands up. Hands up really quick. Hands up.
Okay, guys. This is the ESR.
This is like the unfriended.
He's already said.
We're back to the ESR.
This is serious. This is serious. I want this to be as legit as possible. Okay, Tommy, you never put your hands up.
Everyone in the chat. Well, I already said fact. Everyone in the chat's agreeing with me and saying fact, so I'm quite confident.
So they can look it up. So we shouldn't be looking at the chat right now.
Yeah, that's true.
Not that that's right, but it could be. Right?
Someone go against me.
Christopher Columbus never set foot on what is now the United States. Jen or Goalie, or both of you. What do you guys think?
I remember he originally landed in Cuba. I think it was Cuba. I don't know if he ever made a return trip. Man, fifth grade history class was so long ago.
Are you smart?
I want to say that he also landed in Florida, but I'm gonna say that it's. I don't remember.
It's hard.
I don't remember. I'm just gonna say fake. I'm gonna go against chat and say fake.
Okay. Well, he says fake. Jen,
you're wrong.
I'm from Canada, so I don't even know.
That's true.
I'm automatically wrong.
I'm not even from the country involved.
Jen in some way gets a pass for
I
this.
didn't get American history in high school, so I'm gonna bandwagon with chat and say fact.
Yes.
Right.
Goalie's losing. Come on.
It is
fact.
a fact. It is a fact.
Yay!
I'm sorry.
One.
Goalie, how do you feel to be a loser?
Oh no!
Oh wow! The Canadian
what
guy.
was that in your Twitter bio? I will succeed or something.
Oh no!
What was that?
Rest in peace.
Rip.
The question right starts throwing shots. Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh god.
The brand Canadian gets it right.
Let's make it 2-0, like our GB record.
Well, for one, I technically could please be right or wrong, so I don't really get to choose. All right, the next one is kind of weird, but it works. I just found it on a random website. Okay, just hold. Let's keep on really quick. Big Bird's voice from Sesame Street is actually a woman's. Is that fact or fake? I don't know if you've ever watched Sesame Street. You should have, or you didn't have a younger childhood.
I did watch a bit of this. Yeah,
that counts. See, at least you're involved. Because Sesame Street was a worldwide thing.
Wait, can I Google what Big Bird looks like? Is that all right?
You don't know what Big Bird looks like.
You don't know.
Yeah, but I just want to see Get it a bird. I just want to see the character.
If you type in Big Bird, you're gonna get a lot of different birds.
Okay, well, I was gonna type Big Bird Sesame Street, and then bam, I would know who it was on about. Then I'd be like, that's fact or fake.
That's cheating.
No,
I get like the voice actor. Come on.
Here goes. Look, he's typing.
Okay,
I'm
look
trying to
here.
find a picture of Big Bird.
That is that's a massive
little
link.
bit from his Twitter bio.
Look at that link that I just posted. That is the biggest link I've ever seen. That is the link to what Big Bird looks like. Okay, is that fact or fake? Anyone have an outright answer? Go ahead. You want to go and start us off and just choose before you look.
Well, I'm just putting a picture in front of Tommy as Big Bird.
Oh,
so,
oh no!
Oh no!
To do that.
I'm gonna say, because it's Sesame Street, dude. Ash Ketchum is a girl, or was a girl in Pokemon. So, heck, I don't know. I'm gonna say fact.
Oh, for God's sake! Why did you have to put that in front of me?
I like that he had at least some reasoning. What did Goalie do?
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. If I'd never seen that bird before, what I pretty much haven't, I'd think it's a female.
You think it's a female?
So wait, what was the phrase again?
It's just the voice.
I'm gonna go with fact. You know, just on the bat of I think it looks like a female. I'm just gonna why not?
Okay, so you and Goalie are agreeing, right? Because I think.
No, we can't agree.
Oh, you can't.
No, I'm staying with fact.
Okay, so Big Bird's voice from Sesame Street is a woman's. Okay, Jen, Any knowledge coming behind this? Are you an avid Sesame Street watcher?
Well, as a kid, I'm kind of old now, but.
Don't lie.
Did they have Sesame Street in Canada?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, we're good. We're good.
In Canada, are we not allowed to have things?
Not getting a pass on this one.
Yeah, I guess I can't lie about. Okay, I say fact.
Fact. Okay.
We all agree.
So we have 3 facts.
We're all wrong.
Big Bird's voice is a woman. Is fake. It's actually me.
Oh.
Got everyone. That's
1 for 1.
So Goalie can't respond with anything to Tommy because they have the same answer. So everyone is either 1 for 1 or 0 for 2 if you're Goalie. I'm sorry, Goalie. Maybe Goalie can bring it back and win 3 straight and pull off a clutch. We'll see. So I want to see, did the chat answer that correctly? Some people said fact. Some people said spoilers. I don't think that that's really a spoiler if you watch Sesame Street or not. All
Wait,
right.
can I just ask, who just typed in the show document, "We suck"?
That's
Is that
amazing.
Goalie?
That was probably Goalie. I haven't been looking.
I just saw it get typed and I was just like, wait, who typed that? And it comes up with anonymous someone. I'm like, wait, what?
Goalie's a hater.
Sorry, carry on.
Goalie might be a little bit salty about his factual knowledge. All right, next question. Question number 3. By the way, we're going to 5. We're going to 5. I probably should have mentioned that. So number
1 for
3.
1.
On Jupiter and Saturn, it rains diamonds. Is that fact, or is it fake? That's kind of a tough one. When I saw this one, I was like, this automatically intrigues me. This is kind of interesting, but it also could not be interesting because I just made it up. See, I might have just tricked you just now.
Oh.
That's the point.
That's quite a tricky one because
Right?
my astronomy is not great.
On Jupiter and Saturn. Planets are important here, maybe. Not Uranus.
I feel like-
it rains diamonds.
I feel like a money whore, if this was true, would want to set
Oh,
out
move
to
to
go there.
Saturn and Jupiter.
And
You could be thinking, why hasn't the U.S. sent things to go over there?
yeah, or maybe they have and we just don't know about it.
That could be possible.
I'm gonna go. That's got to be fake, surely. I'm gonna go fake.
Well, it's fake. All right, Tommy says fake. Goalie. Are you going with
Rains
fact?
diamonds, like
I'm just gonna keep going with fact because eventually I'll get it right, right? Like,
I would hope
we're going 50%, unless the teacher, who in this case is Landon, just decided to be an ass and make everything false. Like
I would do that. I really would.
I'm just gonna go fact because I have no idea, man.
That's fine. All right, Jen. On Jupiter, Saturn, it rains diamonds. Is it true or false? Fact or fake? What do you say?
I would almost say partially fake because Saturn has a ring around. I'm pretty sure there's diamonds or some kind of special stuff in the Saturn's ring. But Jupiter, I don't
I
think
knew about this information.
That's why Jen went last.
Oh, I should let Jen go first.
I would say, but I don't think it rains on Jupiter. I think it would rain maybe on Saturn, but I've still never heard of rain, like rain. So I'll just go with fake.
Okay, fake. Interesting. All right, so we have 2 fakes, being Tommy and Jen, and Goalie going with fact. Will he prevail? That is the question.
I'm
Well,
gonna roast us all.
on Jupiter and Saturn, it rains diamonds is actually
Or isn't it?
a fact. It's a fact. Goalie gets it right.
Oh,
Boom. Goalie, feel free to rub it in Tommy's face if you'd like.
Nah.
I said partially fake. I should get like half points.
I'm losing currently.
Well, I'm going to try to
But I'm
find...
tied with goalie at 1 and 2 then.
I looked up an image of this, and I'm going to try to find it really quick. Yes, this
It's
is from a
raining
reliable
diamonds.
That's in,
I know the first one or the first company that can get out there is gonna make a big chunk of change.
Right?
Kind of far away though.
Yeah. It's like a thousand million miles away. I need a spaceship to get there. All right, so it is currently... Tell me, how many points do you have right now? You have 1, right?
I
One for
have
3?
1. I'm doing very bad.
Jen is also 1 for 3, and
can
Goalie
still
is
go
also 1 for 3 as well. Wow, we are all
We're failing high school right
tied
now.
up. This is fantastic. I was really hoping it would be close, and with only 2 left, this could come down to the very end. We'll see what happens. Next question, number 4. There are more stars in space than there are grains of sand in the world. Is that fact, or is it fake?
Wait, so there is more stars in space than there are
No,
grains of
yeah.
sand on the
I said
planet.
it. There are more stars in space
I'm gonna go fact.
than there
Instantly.
are grains.
I'm gonna
grains.
go.
You say grains. No one's letting me finish.
Grains.
Grains of sand in the world.
It's definitely a fact.
The universe
Yeah.
is big,
In the
but
world.
Yeah.
There's a lot of grains of sand.
Galaxy's infinite. The amount of stars in there. Yeah.
Exactly.
Just imagine, like
Fact.
little grain of sand.
I would say I'm gonna go with fact on the basis of like there's probably like it's like the amount of stars there is probably like just we probably haven't even discovered how many there are. So
Exactly,
it's probably
we
like
haven't.
it seems to be so many that it's got to be more. I'm gonna go with fact.
We've gone back to max space questions. Jen, you said fact, right?
Yeah.
All right, so everyone going with fact. Is that correct? You guys have all agreed on one. I like it. All right. Well, there are more stars in space than there are grains. I said it right at the time. Of sand in the world. Is a fact. Yeah, obviously.
Yay.
It's kind of obvious. Whenever I chose that one, it just mind boggled me a lot because thinking of how many like you just pick up like on a random beach anywhere, you just pick up a little grain of sand. And you're like, wow, there are more stars than all of these. It just kind of blew my mind. So I decided to choose it.
So wait, that puts us all 2 and 2 going into the last question.
What?
We've all got 2 right, 2 wrong.
That's true. Oh my god. Oh my goodness, we are 2 and 2 for everyone. This could be the deciding factor. It will be. Hopefully, everyone doesn't choose with the same answer. We'll see what happens. All right. So this is a video game related question, and this is actually factual evidence. So all these have been these are reliable sources. I've checked multiple times. Keep that straight. So the final question, number 5, is the average video game player's age is 20 years old.
From like what year is this fact?
The average video game player's age is 20 years old.
From
But
when is the study?
2014.
I think it was like 2 years ago. That's when I think it was. I think it was like 2013 or 14. The average video game player's age is 20 years old. It shared a squeak.
I'm gonna let someone else go first because I've
gone
gone first like 3 times.
I think Jen should go first, if I'm honest.
Fact or
video
fake?
game.
I would say false or fake.
Fake.
I think there's a lot more little kids, to be honest.
And this is video game. This is not
it's
just
like what outweighs, because obviously the population of the youth, does that outweigh how far people game into their like 30s, 40s?
Mm-hmm.
It's
interesting.
I think
this is video game, so this is
yeah.
This isn't just board games, right? We're not like 60.
I think give it a decade or 2, and that'll be false. Because it'll be higher. But now, screw it. Let's go fact.
Fact. All right. Tommy says fact. Goalie. What is your answer?
I'm gonna say it's fake because there's a lot of old grannies on their iPhones and their iPads, playing video games and playing solitaire.
Is your granny one of them?
No, my granny is not one of them. Unfortunately, she thinks the green screen's cool though. So, but yeah, I'm gonna say fake.
Okay. So we got what? 2 fakes and 1 fact.
I'm against the vote.
So obviously one of you guys, or one of the dividing sectors. I don't know what I'm saying. Someone got it right, someone got it wrong. That's the basis of what we're saying. And Jen, I think after this one is also going to have her own. So this is not the end of them. So Tommy, you still have a chance. Goalie, and Jen, if you get it wrong, you also still have a chance. All right. So the average video game player's age, is it 20 years old? That is fake. That is fake. It's actually 31.
Suck it, Tommy.
31 years old.
31.
It's 31 years old. I looked it up. I watched a YouTube video on it. 31 years old. I would have never in my life would have got that right. So Tommy, you're okay. So Goalie and Jen have taken the lead with 3-2. I think Jen is also going to add her own fact or fake question.
So I guess I can't participate in this one because I know the answer.
Technically, you at least have second place.
That's pretty good.
And I could maybe if I want to know.
Just for future preference, we should change the person who asks the question every week. Just obviously so
I kind of like doing it though.
So rigged.
I want to see Landon guess some of these.
Well,
honestly, I'm looking at them. I would have probably got the Christopher Columbus one because it's really specific. Big Bird's voice, I don't know. I've only watched Sesame Street like twice, so I probably would have got that wrong. Jupiter and Saturn, probably not. So I'd probably be like one for, like, I probably would have like 2 by this point. So.
You guys will be screwed if I was to do it because I'd have like Benson-like questions. Like,
oh god,
what 10 players were traded to Rise during season 3 of?
Yeah, but that'd have to mean that we are the guests that can't even name the teams that have won COD champs.
Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah, it was bad.
We're roasting now.
Oh, I think it was that team.
No, let's not. Let's just cut it out. Cut it out.
So I was honestly very surprised by the actual age being 31 years old, and I think
really.
I can't remember which of Goalie Gen said that they thought it was fake and they thought it was, or someone said in the chat that it was fake and they thought it was lower. Well,
I thought it was lower too.
Yeah, but it's
There's
actually
a lot of small children.
it's really strange. So yes, it
You
is.
guys ready for mine?
31. Yes, Jen, feel free to ask your fact or fake question. I'm ready. I have
This is a science one. Let's see if gamers know science. Oh, come on.
This isn't fair.
Science is fun. Oh,
If
come
it's
on.
sports science, I'm down, but not microbiology.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
can't even say
So,
microbiology.
I love teaching science. So, if you take a cap full of dirt or soil,
Oh my god.
let me try and word this right. Is there more people in the world than there are bacteria in a cap full of dirt? I don't know if I worded that fact or fake, but yes or no.
So
Who wants
I
to go
did read
first?
something about bacteria the other day that said that by just putting your earphones in your ears for an hour, you increase the bacteria by 700,000. So on the basis of that, I'm just gonna say fact.
That there are more people?
Yeah, let's go out on a limb. I'm just gonna say fact. Because I think you'd think it isn't, but it is. That's what I'm going on the basis of.
Okay, Landon.
can we ask the question one more time?
Is there more people on this planet? So I don't know,
Like
millions.
7.3 billion is, I think, is what it is.
Or is there more bacteria in a cap full of dirt?
What kind of cap? Like a water bottle cap? Is it like
like a little?
Is there?
Look how small it is.
This cap right here.
Yeah, like the
Yeah,
cat.
fill that with dirt. And the amount of bacteria in there versus the amount of people in the world.
Some dirt. Oh no, I'm kidding.
Gotta go count.
1, 2. I can't see.
You're gonna have to dig through the snow first, Landon.
It's true. It is actually snowing for me for once, but So Tommy went with fact because he heard this thing the other day about stuff. So is that
You just spread stuff
or
on you.
you're just saying that to make yourself sound better?
It turned to me about.
Yes.
No, I think
You actually read
well,
that.
I didn't look at the source, but that's what I found from a source that isn't credible. I guess I'll say.
Well, the internet's
So
always
incredible
true.
source.
I mean, but on the basis of
Always
that,
right.
that's what I've given my answer. At least I've given one.
But that's earphones. It's not even dirt. Dirt can be clean.
That's a good point. Goalie, I'm gonna discussing this with you. What are your leading
Hey,
towards?
no discussions. This is Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. You don't get to call the audience.
I'm just, man. If there's, I'm gonna say fake, even though I think it could be true.
Oh, you can't say that. You can't say that.
Well, the reason I'm
you've
going,
got to commit.
I'm gonna say fake. But the reason I think it could be true, and this is the counter argument that I would make, is that if you take the Earth and the relative size to the Sun, I can't remember the amount of Earths that we can fit in the size of the Sun, but it's a shit ton, and it's kind of the size of bacteria. I would say that's the relative amount of, I don't know, words. That's the relative amount.
Words.
Yeah.
Okay, so true, false, and Landon.
Relative comparison.
Either you're really good at making things up, or you like I don't know. Like,
Well, you're right.
Just pick a damn answer,
Children
Landon.
eat dirt, you know.
I'm
imagine.
gonna go with fact. But if this is actually fake, you're very good at lying. You sold me on that. And then what Tommy said kind of sold me too. I hope Tommy's side.
Yeah,
How reliable am I?
I don't know.
It is true. There are more,
Yes! Goalie, you suck.
more bacteria in soil than there are people on the planet.
Do you know like
It's over like 4 billion.
1-0, baby.
Yeah.
It's undefeated.
And you just like you're like kids eat dirt all the time. They're eating like billions and billions of bacteria.
Wow, there we go. Facts with Jen.
Science facts. All right.
Done it.
Science fact.
Facts, boy.
Does that even change the scores? Are we all even though?
Yeah, then everyone's even except Landon because
I want to
he's
know. I
only
went
one.
undefeated.
1-0. 100% score.
Out of whenever we can say who had the higher score, I can just say I went undefeated. Everyone else at least missed 1 or 2. So I'm kidding.
Hey.
We'll keep score. Chat if you guys want to always hold on to that, we can we can try to make sure. So I think a lot of people actually got faked. A lot of people said fake. I saw only a couple people who said fact. So very interesting. Good question, Jen. Very good question.
You learned some stuff today.
What'd you say?
You learned some stuff.
I did. We learned a lot of things today. Hopefully, chat, once chat gets done watching this episode, they can go and tell their parents this stuff, tell their friends this stuff. You know, you might surprise a couple of people. Maybe you can, you know, tweet at us and see what your friends or family thought. So I think what we're going to do really quickly before we get into some more, or actually get into some Black Ops 3 stuff, is we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're actually going to be talking about how good is Black Ops 3 really and our predictions for the Call of Duty World League Week 1 matches, which will be going on, I believe, starting tomorrow. So, guys, don't go anywhere. You're not going to want to miss this. So I'll be right back after this quick commercial break. I don't know how long it's going to be, but we'll be right back either way. Boop.
Okay, thank you guys for watching part 1 of the TheSTiKSLive episode 74. We had some issues with part 2. The VOD cut off for some reason. I don't know why. Just a small tech issue. So we kind of just jump in straight into the topics. I thought I'd let you guys know beforehand so you guys aren't confused. But we were talking about Call of Duty Black Ops 3 and if we still like it after the honeymoon phase. We kind of went on and talked more about the esports side of it and stuff. But thank you guys for watching so far. Enjoy the rest of the VOD. Have a good one.
Multiplayer, going into a private, or not into private lobbies, but just a regular public match. What does it suit for you? How does it compare to the previous Call of Duty titles? In your opinion, like, is it better? Is it worse? What about it? Because what about it makes it a little bit better or makes it a little bit worse compared to the other ones that it's been behind or been before? So I'm gonna start off with Tommy. Tommy, how does the regular just public matches, when you go to a pub, do you enjoy playing it, or is it not as good as previous titles?
So you probably heard me because we've been in a call for what, like a good hour and a half, and I was playing a few pubs and I was raging my tits off, excuse the phrase. But generally though, I've really thoroughly enjoyed playing BO3. Like, I haven't grinded a Call of Duty since I think BO2. I mean, I made a video about this, not trying to plug it or anything, giving my personal opinion, and I don't know whether because Ghost and AW didn't meet my expectation, I'm now looking at BO3 as something better than it actually is. But I generally put BO3 up there as one of the best COD titles that I've played, enjoyed watching, everything, the whole shebang.
Okay. So you think the public matches part is pretty decent, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like, what's there not to love? Like, the fact that you can now rank up to level 1000, although I probably won't be doing it, is a massive asset to a lot of people who, like, when they used to do it, where they used to, get up to the max prestige, and then there'd be nothing. I know that in some titles they then release an extra 5 prestiges, but then that doesn't take too long to grind through. It takes a few weeks if you're playing Call of Duty regularly. So the fact that you can level up to level 1000 is absolutely awesome. Love the challenges, love the whole black market and everything about it. I think it's awesome.
Okay, Jim, what is your opinion on the public match side of things? When you go to a pub, you play it, depending on what prestige you are, it doesn't really matter, but just in general, when you go to play public matches, what do you like about it, or how do you compare it to other ones?
Just public, not arena.
Yeah, just regular public matches.
It's pretty straightforward. I mean, no complaints there. That's usually what I play when I don't want to go through the ban and protect BS. So it gets kind of annoying. But yeah, not really any opinions on the pubs.
Goalie, any opinions on public matches? We're going in cycles here, like our opinions on it as a whole. So public matches, Goalie, how do you feel about going to a pub? You're playing it. What is your opinions on it?
When it comes to a public match, I think it's fun. But there's no reason for me to want to play the game more than 30 minutes. Absolutely no reason.
What is that?
It's just it's not. It doesn't grab my attention anymore. I don't know. Then again, I've been playing COD since MW2, and I've been working in the esports scene for almost 2 years, a year and a half now. But there really isn't. I don't know. Ever since Ghost, I've kind of hated pubs. But it's good pubs, but I don't know. It's not grabbing. It doesn't want me to play. It doesn't want to make me play the game.
Okay, I was just curious to get everyone's general opinions on public matches and stuff. General consensus is that we enjoy playing it for the most part, but Goalie can't play it for over a long period of time due to previous games kind of ruining it. Jen plays it because she doesn't really want to play arena, and Tommy kind of just likes it in general, likes the addition of levels to make you actually work for something. I kind of agree with you guys in to add my own opinion in there. I think it's good. I'm glad they're making people actually grind for something. But I do like the element of having something to show for rather than just your prestige level. I think it'd be kind of cool if maybe there was a different type of stat or different emblem next to your name or something cool that would kind of add like, I've been grinding out the game, not just my prestige shows how good I am. I think that'd be kind of a cool thing. Obviously, arena's there, but you can't really see everyone's arena level when it comes to pubs. But as far as esports level, from what you've watched, now we are obviously going to have the Call of Duty World League starting tomorrow. But we've had a chance to watch a couple of events. We watched the LAN qualifiers. We've seen the Totino's 50K. We've obviously seen a couple of online matches between pros. Or if you just streamed it all, what is your opinion on the esports side of things? When it comes to how the band slash protects go, everything about it in general, the specialist draft, whatever it may be. When you're watching it as an esports spectator, do you guys enjoy watching it? Do you find yourself wanting to watch more, or do you find yourself wishing that you could just turn it off right now? Because I know Goalie has a different perspective on this because he has to do it. It's more of his job. And obviously, you're not going to be a big fan of your job when you have to do it. But in your guys' opinion, I'll start off with Tommy. What is your opinion watching it from an esports side of things?
I think me and you, Landon, we both share the same kind of frustration with the minimap being too small.
Yes.
I don't know if they fixed the whole color thing where, like, depending on what team you are, it mucks up the colors and it just completely screws with your eyes. But if they get that fixed, they increase the minimap size. I think from a spectator's point of view and codcaster and everything like that, I think it's brilliant. They haven't really evolved it too much from what we've seen from past Call of Duty titles. Obviously, it's an advancement on BO2 codcaster, but I think generally there's not really a lot more you can ask for.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna move to Jen really quick before we get to Goalie. Jen, what is your opinion on watching? I know you obviously cast a little bit. What is your opinion on both watching and casting it, from an esports perspective of things?
Oh, just Codcaster has been just so terrible this game. I don't know how they just absolutely destroyed it, but they're putting some nice things like the actual team names. I thought was a really nice addition from the other games instead of being confused in Sentinel and Atlas and whatnot. The team names and then the logos are kind of cool. But if they fix up, like Tommy said, all the colors and the confusion, I think it'd be really great to watch. And then, the mini-map is a little small. And other than that, it's great to watch.
Okay. Now, Goalie, what is your opinion when it comes to watching it? Obviously, it's Goalie's job. For those who don't know, he runs Kite Esports 3D live tweets from it. He's going to be watching the ANZ, the EU, and all.
Going to be watching every single league match for the next 11 weeks.
There you go. Good summary. What is your opinion of watching it up to this point? Are you looking forward? I know, obviously, working really hard isn't, but what is your opinion on watching it? Do you enjoy watching it just in general?
I enjoy watching it when I actually feel like I'm watching it. A lot of time when I'm working, I feel like I'm literally just watching the score and the time, but that's how it's been ever since I started working in the COD esports scene. Is I only watch that timer. I only watch a score. Sometimes I'll miss big plays completely, but when I'm actually watching it, I really enjoy it. But I've only watched like 3 events. I don't go out of my way to go watch scrims at all or anything in this game. I didn't watch any scrims in Advanced Warfare after the first 2 weeks either. I only watched the actual events. But yeah, from the side of it, I agree with everything that's been said about the Codcaster. When it works, it's good, but it has some issues, and that's a thing that we've had every year so far since the Codcaster was introduced. Even the original Black Ops 2 Codcaster before it got patched was awful. But yeah, I don't know. I enjoy it to a point, but I don't go out of my way to watch it.
I see. Okay. I was just curious because, like, from my perspective, as far as casting goes, and I've dealt with the Codcaster a lot. And a lot of people have kind of said, "Oh, I think it's a lot better." Actually, I think as far as like the presentation of it, which means like now a whole lot of stuff is on the screen, you can kind of just focus on the match, is good. But I posted a picture the other day, and I'm not asking anyone to go to my Twitter and look at it. But the difference between the minimap size in Advanced Warfare to Black Ops 3 is insane. Now, keep in mind, in Advanced Warfare, on the Codcaster mode, you could actually have the regular map, or you could have a bigger size map. For Black Ops 3, you can't actually do that. You can only bring it up, full screen or just have it off to the side. On Advanced Warfare, you had the main one and the main frame, or you had the two different off to the side. And it's very small whenever you're casting as fast-paced as a game like Black Ops 3 is, because it is a lot faster paced. It's not as fast as Advanced Warfare, but I think it's very similar, obviously, because you're having the G slides, which we can talk about for a long time, but we're not going to. And just the regular, jetpacks in general. You're constantly moving around the map. You're up and down. You're all around and stuff. It makes it very fast paced, so you want to have the mini map to kind of control that. Another thing is the logos. Whenever someone has the bomb, when someone has the drone, has the CTF flag, when someone's in the hard point, you don't know that based on the little scorecards off to the right. And when you don't have that, that's when you look toward the mini map. And since the mini map's too small, you don't have anywhere to kind of look at it, which I think is some of the main issues with the Codcaster at the moment, as well. But either way, besides that, I think the game is really, really good. I just kind of wanted to bring up this topic because I wanted to be honest. I think if we maybe would have been the heyday of Black Ops 3, the first couple of weeks, you would say, oh, it's great, it's fantastic. I really enjoyed the specialists and stuff like that. But now that we're in the middle, we're getting ready to get in the middle of the game. I wanted to know everyone's opinions before the Call of Duty World League.
One thing that's really frustrated me about Call of Duty recently, and maybe the reason I have this opinion now is because I try to constantly watch other esports. I'm constantly trying to expand what I watch, what I view, what I play. And I was watching the Smite World Championships this weekend. I was watching Heroes Rising, which was a crowdfunded Heroes event. I was watching the Gears of War tournament. And the thing I hate about Call of Duty, and this is just a part of the game, it's nothing we can change, is that every year we play a beta version of the game. And the game's not actually good or at its its top. It's not at its best quality until the end of the game. We're 9 months into the game, we get 9, 10, 20, 30 patches out. The game's in a stable condition. The Codcaster works. And that's what I hate about it. And we're constantly playing a beta game every year. And Activision's never going to change that. But it really frustrates me that we go through this same cycle every year, that there's just constant issues and that we have to deal with them. So I don't know.
Sorry, I muted myself.
Yeah.
Sometimes whenever I notice this too when it comes to patches, is that they always won't tell you what's in a patch, which kind of annoys me. It's only sometimes where they tell you, sometimes they won't. And it's really important as far as esports things, whether you're a caster, whether you're a player, to know actually what got better, what got worse. There was a big ban, I think, on Flak Jacket. There's an issue with it where HCXD cards could actually still destroy you if you have Flak Jacket on. Well, apparently there's been a patch recently where they didn't mention it, and now that switched back, and the players didn't know about it. And when it comes to these big COD World League, games, players are going to need to know this information, and I wish that they would.
Yeah, that's a huge issue, and I understand that it takes you have to hire someone else to sit there and note everything and then do a press release every single time. And I know Vandahar tweeted out the first week the game came out saying, we're not going to note a patch every single time we do it. I think he should be. I think they should let us know any time that a change went public in the game, especially for esports reasons.
Yeah. Jen or Tommy, you guys have any opinions on patches and how they do release stuff, or how rapid the patches come out at all? If not, it's fine.
I definitely agree with what Goalie was on about. I think it was Hitch who first brought it to my attention about how we don't really get kind of to a stable state or to where we're content, if you will, until halfway into the game, what is a big issue. But I think the reality is, what else do we expect when we have a title that comes out every year? We're not like any other esport. We are completely different in that aspect, and in some ways it's a good thing, but in a lot of ways I think it's a bad thing, because we don't ever get to that state where we're right, I think we're actually at a point where everything's good, and then we can actually see everyone play it at the point where we think it is as competitive as it can be. But because we only have a year, and the first 2 months are spending learning the game, and then patches come out and things are tweaked, and you have to kind of basically adapt to that. We don't really ever get to a point, in my opinion, where we're at the most competitive point for a Call of Duty title.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of counter arguments, because what Goalie said, it's we never have a complete game, but yet again we do, like Tommy said, we have a game that comes out every year, And usually, I'm sure whenever, you know, you can name out a bunch of different titles. When those first came out, I guarantee there was constant patches. But once they got the game down right, you know, they started to kind of diminish.
Oh yeah, like you look at the original League of Legends skin, it looks like complete trash compared to what the game looks like right now. But it's been out for, there's been 5 seasons now. There's been 5 seasons of the LCS or the whatever it was called beforehand. It takes time, and it's just a shame that
we don't have 5 years. We have 1 year.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Yeah.
You look at Counter-Strike, and they didn't even have skins for the first year.
Right.
So just that has just taken off. Now you've got like CS:GO betting and all sorts. That's just absolutely skyrocketing. I think one thing that's definitely going to be massive in 2016, in my opinion, is betting. I know it was already a massive feature in other esports, but especially for Call of Duty wise, it's already been implemented in loads of betting, big name betting shops and stuff online in the UK, and I'm sure it's probably the same across the globe. So I think that's definitely like you know, that's where you can definitely see how esports are very much like sports in that aspect.
It's true. What are your guys' opinions on if betting became as big of a deal as it is in CS:GO and Call of Duty? Now, obviously, CS:GO scene is a little bit bigger than Call of Duty. We all know that, since there won't be as many, you know, people being involved. But if the same percentage of people who bet in CS:GO happen in Call of Duty, do you guys think that'd be a positive thing because people are now focusing on the matches, or do you guys think they're watching it for the wrong reasons, to get money out of it or to get, you know? And I guess it really wouldn't be skins that you're betting, because you can't really bet skins in Call of Duty, obviously, or camos or, you know, supply drops or anything like that. But just said like money was involved. What would you guys think would you know, do you think it would be a good thing that was people were involved with it, or do you think it kind of diminishes the esport in general? I'll start off with Jen. Jen, what would be your opinion? You know, betting got to be as big.
I think it would be good for the overall esport, just because then you would attract more people and people would have a reason to make money off the whole esports. Anyway, I think it would attract more attention to the actual Call of Duty esport, but I think it's also a terrible idea, because I think in CS:GO there's some issues with teams throwing games with betting and things like that, and I really don't want that to start happening. Like, I want to see some, like, the players only worrying about their game and not about bets, and then there's also all that pressure on the players of people putting so many bets, and I don't want them to get harassed either. Like, you know, rip my skins in CS:GO and all that happens. But I don't know, good and bad, but I think mostly bad.
Okay. Tommy, do you have any opinions on whole portion of betting if Call of Duty got to be as big in betting as CS:GO is currently, or other esports, but, you know, CS:GO kind of is in the limelight more frequently, but
I definitely agree with Jen in the sense that, like, oh, excuse me, it's gonna like basically widen the viewership. I think it brings a different viewer though, in the terms of like people are watching it to see if their team's gonna win, rather than maybe they're a fan of the team they're watching, if that makes sense. But yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of complications. I think we touched on it a little bit with Goalie before the show about how, you know, there's bound to be problems with the CWL League, like what we saw with the MLG Season 3 League in AW, where basically there were so many problems, they end up saying, hey, we're just going to take everyone to LAN because we just can't, like, this league is not legitimate. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see, because obviously the first day of matches takes place tomorrow. It's all being streamed by ESL live, basically. So, you know, if things are going to happen, they're going to happen tomorrow and Wednesday for sure. But I think, yeah, there's pros and cons to it.
Okay. Goalie, I know they kind of covered it pretty well, but do you have any other opinions, or do you agree with
I'm just hoping I just hope that we don't have any delays in matches because of the same issue that we had last year with Season 3. Season 3 was a disaster because of the whole betting situation, and that the players' connections weren't safe. So hopefully we can get that crap figured out this year. Otherwise, it's just going to turn into another Season 3, and we'll always have these issues because the consoles can't 100%. We can't 100% protect a console from a DDoS attack. So
you're saying PC Master Race, is that correct?
Yeah, PC Master Race, 100%.
I was just curious. But no, I'm not trying to like get all serious, like, you know, betting and Call of Duty. You know, is Black Ops 3 actually a good game? But I think it's interesting talk to mention because of, you know, Black Ops 3 kind of being in the midst, and Call of Duty Esports, you know, kind of, in a lot of people's opinions, have taken kind of a bit of a downfall, you know, since Ghost and Advanced Warfare. I was just curious on everyone's opinions when it comes to the betting side of things, because when it even comes to professional sports, you know, DraftKings and all of those things that are so big right now, attracts a lot of people to watch it. But in some ways, people who are on the outside say, well, you're watching it for the wrong reasons. You're watching it not because you love it, because you love to make money, which is only one part of it. So,
but that you can't really argue about viewing it for a bad reason, because at the end of the day, it's still viewership. Like, I might watch a football game because I want to make money off of it. That's not a bad thing because their viewership is increased.
Oh no, I wasn't saying it was a bad thing. I'm just saying
benefit on both parties.
Yeah.
People who are passionate about their esport will say, "Oh, they're only a fan of the esport because of they're making money off of it." Is what I mean. So like, technically, viewership isn't. Some people look at it as a negative thing. Personally, if you're watching Call of Duty Esports, you're watching Call of Duty Esports. I mean, you're a viewer, you're involved. Whether how much you're involved,
as long as you're making money in a legitimate way.
Well, yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
A good thing.
You're not scamming people to make money. Either way, it's an interesting talk. By the way, people who are on iTunes right now, because we do have an iTunes page where you guys can watch and listen to these as well. You can't really provide an opinion, but I know people on YouTube can, people in the chat right now can. But if you guys ever want to tweet us, I'd love to continue on this conversation. Obviously, we can talk about this for hours, whether betting is good or not, as far as Call of Duty Esports goes, and other esports in general. But it's still an interesting talk, positives and negatives to both. And I'm just glad we kind of touched on it for a minute. So it's interesting. You guys can continue on to talk about it in the chat if you'd like to, but we're going to go ahead and move on to some roster changes, which I believe is what Tommy is going to talk to us a little bit about. We actually had some roster changes right before we went live involving some EU changes, and I know there was actually an NA change, which I can mention if Tommy doesn't, revolving AES Apotheon. But I'll go ahead and let Tommy kind of take it over right now from here.
Oh, thank you, pal. If you want to cover the NA stuff, I'll cover the EU stuff because
okay, I'll let you go first.
Kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, in terms of Europe, just to kind of briefly touch on it. So it involves Splice, it involves Epsilon. Obviously, Epsilon released Watson about a week or two back now. And they then picked up. I know Hawkey's not exactly how you pronounce his name, but that's the dude who they picked up. Kind of a relatively unknown player, but obviously they've seen the talent in him. They've gone with players like Zero and people who were relatively unknown in the past who've done really good things. Like a good example as well is Royalty over in NA. Now what's happened, obviously Splice picked up Vortex, benched Reedy. Now what's happened is Reedy and Hawkey have transferred. So Hawkey's gone over to Splice and Reedy's gone over to Epsilon. Reedy's going to be now playing for Epsilon. Hawkey playing for Splice, what means that I think Dominate is going to be benched. So the roster is going to be something like Vortex. I can't remember the roster exactly. Let me just check 2 seconds. But I think Dominate's the one that's been benched, and then it's going to be Bance with Josh, Vortex, and Hawkey. That's what I believe that's happened. But I'm out of all of this, I'm happy because Reedy, I don't know exactly what was happening, but I believe he was being held in his contract and wasn't being allowed to transfer to another roster to then be on the starting lineup. Because Reedy, he should definitely be on a starting lineup. There's no need for him to be a sub. I think what Splice were doing, I don't know the full of it, but I think it was just stupid in a way. But I'm happy that he's been able to get out of his contract or whatever was stopping him from moving from roster to roster. And he's now on Epsilon.
Okay, so it's a pretty interesting step, especially since the Call of Duty World League right around the corner. Seeing some changes already happened, and have to make sure you have your roster locked in for a number of different reasons. But yeah, pretty interesting to see. We obviously, would love to have Reedy on the show. I know he was in the chat a little bit earlier, and have him maybe talk about this next week. But either way, big changes going down in the EU side of things. As far as the NA, really quickly, basically Apotheon Esports, which was a fairly well-known organization since Black Ops 3, they kind of had a team, came out in the LAN qualifiers, did fairly well, ended up getting a spot, one of the 8 spots at the LAN qualifiers. They actually traded their spot as well as their roster to a team called, or an organization known as H2K Gaming. Now, I'm not super familiar with them. I know they are involved with the Hearthstone and also League of Legends side of things.
They've been in 2 stages of the EU LCS. They were in the spring and the summer split of the last season.
Okay. So, if you are involved with those either scene, you probably know about them. I personally didn't know about them. I don't know if you guys did besides Goalie. But either way, they actually picked up that spot. So it will now be the old AES team is now under the name of H2K, and H2K does have that spot. So if you hear us talk about H2K instead of AES, or you don't hear AES at all, that's exactly what kind of happens. So, Fears, Legal, Fizzerp, and Lacefield are now under the name of H2K Gaming. So very, very quick brief of roster changes at this point.
If I'm not mistaken, I'm going to cut on you a little bit, but I think H2K had a COD 4 team, a pro mod team way back in the day over in Europe.
You're correct.
So
yes, I think they said back in like 2003 they were involved with Call of Duty and CS:GO. So this could be like their way of trying to get back involved, possibly. I don't know. So I believe it is now time to get to a very important part of the show. It is time for the Call of Duty World League Week 1 predictions. We'll probably be doing this every week. Whoever decides to kind of predict these, but we'll probably have this every week going on, week 2, week 3, whatever it may be. We're going to be covering mostly the NA side of things. We could do the EU and ANZ, but with the amount of matches, we would probably have to dedicate one show to this only. So we're going to go over these fairly quick. We're going to be talking about these a little bit, but our first series, which is going to start off the Call of Duty World League qualifiers for the NA side of things, is Rise versus FaZe. So Rise Nation versus FaZe. Early opinions. You guys have any thoughts about Rise Nation versus FaZe? Either side, FaZe, fairly good team in Advanced Warfare. Rise, with a very new team coming from Black Ops 3. Do you guys have any early predictions? I had actually everyone in the chat, or at least tried to make some of their predictions. I see I chose 3-1 to FaZe. Tommy had 3-2 I had 3-1 to Rise. Tommy had 3-2 to Rise. And I think Goalie had a number of different random predictions. I think he said like 3-0, 3-0. So, Tommy, early predictions, Rise versus FaZe. Why do you think, in your opinion, it's going to be a 3-2 in favor of Rise?
I think Rise in BO3 at least are going to turn a lot of heads. I think if this Rise roster sticks how it is, I think that they'll do big things. Now the problem I have is I don't get to watch a lot of scrims because of obviously the time difference, and B, it feels weird not having kind of a major LAN to go off of the bat of, because obviously we had Totino's, what was more of a showcase in my opinion. We've had the qualifiers, but again, it was really weird because it was like it was better to actually not play Championship Sunday than to play Championship Sunday, because that meant that you hadn't qualified yet. So for me, it's very, very difficult to give an honest and true representation of what I make of some of these teams.
I'll just cut you off. For all of us, we will say that it is
not
hard.
Just me. Sorry, I know
because there hasn't been that major LAN. There hasn't been that. There haven't been major online tournaments. These are blind guesses, basically.
Yeah, in a way. There we go. Summed up by Goalie. And also, I think it's annoying as well not knowing fully. Do we know fully kind of in terms of how many times they play each other, like all the other teams? Is it like
each team plays each other twice. Well,
okay.
once on host and once off host.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. In that case, then I think this is a massive matchup, because realistically, I think honestly, although I can't make a good representation of how well some of these teams are going to do throughout the entire league, I think Rise and FaZe, in my opinion, I'd put them quite high up the leaderboard, or the table in general. So I think this is a massive matchup, but I just favor Rise off the bat of them winning Totino's, and they've been looking pretty strong recently. Not saying that FaZe can't take it. That's kind of why I went with a 3-2. But we'll have to wait and see.
Okay. Jen, any opinions on Rise versus FaZe? One team you think might...
It's hard because they were, like, I think 2 of the powerhouses in that qualifier. But like we said, it's like nobody really played. Well, the game just came out, so I think it was all about who played the game the most when it just came out. So it's hard to really judge if Rise is the best team. I went with 3-2 FaZe originally, just because like we saw FaZe sort of struggle at the end of Advanced Warfare, and I think they're going to come back and make heads turn on Black Ops 3. And I think Rise, really good team, but I think FaZe is the original powerhouse.
Okay, so we got a FaZe prediction, a Rise prediction as well. Honestly, I think this could go a number of different ways. I personally said Rise could go either way, like we said, but Goalie's letting me know we do have to rapid fire these. I know there's a number of different matches that we're going to be going over, 12 or actually 11 other ones, but either way, Rise or FaZe, let us know in the chat as well for either of these predictions what you guys think is going to happen. So honestly, could go either way. A lot of 3-2s, it's up to anyone's opinion up to this point. Next series we have is Elevate versus Question Mark. Now there are a couple actually question marks, it's funny enough, regarding Question Mark's roster, because there has been rumors of 2 players from Cloud9 being Merc and Burns joining Question Mark. That's not official as of yet. There's also been rumors that Merc and Burns have been playing with like Study and other guys, so we don't know Question Mark's roster. So I don't know if we really want to cover this. Should we cover this, guys? I'm asking your opinion.
Well, we can. Well, I'll say what I have. Wait, someone changed my predictions.
Tommy went through your predictions and changed them because
Goalie originally had all his he basically said at the bottom, I want all 3-0s because obviously Goalie has to basically record the matches. Yeah. Well, not record them, but he has to make note of the matches and then report on them through COD Esportspedia. So I went ahead and thought, Goalie likes Call of Duty. I'm going to put all 3 2s.
That was so nice of you, Tom.
I hate you, Tom. Because we have no clue who's on the roster, we have to say 3-0 Elevate. Elevate looked good at the regionals, or not regionals. Man, at the LAN qualifiers. There we go. That's what so like they looked good. I have no clue how or who's on question marks team. So
yeah, we just know it's for sure Proofy and Cold Chain. At least that's what's rumored for right now. Anything could honestly happen, but they do have to keep at least 2 players who did qualify. That's a major point to bring up. So at least 2 players from the original qualifying team who did qualify online will have to be there. To kind of reiterate your point really quick, I think Elevate's a really strong team for what Goalie said. Really, really talented players. These guys always grind out the game toward the beginning. Naga fans are freak when it comes to uplink. And those guys just seem to be very, very calm together. A lot of chemistry together with them. So I agree. I think it's going to be in favor of Elevate either way. If Question Mark keeps their roster, they change to a different roster. They're definitely having some issues over there. Chemistry is definitely not in their favor for right now. But we're going to move on to our next series, which will be H2K versus Dream Team. I honestly think this could go either way, in my opinion. Any early predictions from you guys at all for H2K? And obviously, we mentioned that's the old AES team, versus a team like Dream Team, kind of known as an online squad. Guys like Cinder, Diabolic, Happy, and so on and so forth. Those guys, you guys' opinions coming into Series 3, choosing one or the other? Anyone?
I think H2K. I don't know. Everyone was going for DT, but I think their team has just been really solid just based on scrims and how well they just grind together. I said 3-1, but then DT, I don't know if they're still in a team house. I think there is a team house. So that'll be definitely a factor in the online games. So, I mean, probably have to go with DT just for the team house, but just because it's online. But I think H2K is the better skilled team. Okay.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. Tommy or Goalie, predictions similar to Jen or different at all?
It's so hard. I mean, if Fizzip can hit Tomahawk like he did the other day in every SMD, then you may as well give them COD Champs title right now, right? But no, I think it's so hard to call. I think when I went 3-2 DT, I mean, if they are in a team house, that definitely makes a significant difference. It's H2K's host though, so I don't know, man. It could go either way, in my opinion. I think they're very much level-headed teams, in my opinion. Yeah. Just looking at the players, who knows?
Yeah, I mean,
I'll let you know tomorrow.
After the game's over, you'll let me know what your prediction was.
Wow.
Tommy's going for the scumbag move. I get it.
I'm sorry.
I'm just kidding, Tom. No, I think, honestly, I chose DT 3-0, and I'm going to say this for a reason why. I think these two teams are heavily skilled. I think they're very similar. H2K or AES, the ex-AES squad came out super strong, but online is very, very important. Obviously, it's an online league. I don't know who's exactly, going to be hosting what maps are going to be played. DT is very, very good when it comes to online play. I'm just going to say that right now. I know they really want to win, due to some, utter losses they had, the LAN qualifiers, Chino not being able to clutch up versus CLG. I know those guys are very, very skilled, and they're also have a lot of chemistry together. So I said it's 3-0. I don't think it's going to be 3-0. That was just a random prediction. Goalie, for all I know, Tommy could have changed my predictions looking back at it.
I did not. So.
But I'm saying DT wins. Either way, you guys can let us know, like I said, in the comments or, just in general. So we're going to move on to our next one, which is going to be, hold on, I actually changed my screen. OG versus CLG. Really quick predictions. I have to give me versus CLG. Early prediction. You guys can just say who you think is going to win in general. One team over the other.
OG 3-0. 3-1.
OG 3-0?
OG. That's what I went with.
Yep.
Yeah, OG 3-0.
Okay. Nice. I like it. Next game we're going to have is Cole versus LG. For those who don't know, Luminosity Gaming versus Complexity. Predictions for that game? Any team you're looking forward to over the other, or just want to give a serious score? Does it really matter?
Yeah, I went with Cole.
Cole? Why is that? Yeah. You don't have to give us a really long explanation, but just in general.
Going around. No, I think, Complexity. Just looking at the two teams and the caliber they are, I would go Complexity.
Okay. Jen or Goalie?
I said LG 3-2 just because I think they're a lot more veteran. Well, I wouldn't say veteran. Like, we got 2 good players on TP and Aches, but I think LG are better. I don't know. I don't want to go too far into it.
TP and Aches are an envy.
Oh, my bad. Oh, wrong complexity. Anyway, LG and Cold. Sorry. Still wrong. I screwed that up. My bad.
Right.
Throw me off the show, but I still think LG 3-0 or 3-2. Sorry.
No.
Okay. Any thoughts?
I'm going Cole 3-0.
Okay. 3-0.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I just don't like
just
the fact that
games.
LG has 2 OBJ players on OBJ minded players on their team. I think it makes them a little bit weak in the slaying category. They have replays and Spacely. They're both great players, but they both play. The last couple games they've played the same role.
They're lucky. Just to touch on that real quick. Picking up Saints is like a dream come true for them, because adding him in terms of slaying power is definitely going to boost this team, and it may be the difference from them qualifying or not for the stage 1 playoffs.
That's a good point. I know a big deal for Saints in his first game. I think it was land qualifiers. He had like a 0.8 or 9 KD, which is like unheard of for Saints. He's gone like positive in every COD stat since they've even been keeping them. So I think it was kind of odd for them to pick up a Slayer who didn't really do well. E6 gold though, you can kind of give either way. I personally had LG winning 3-2. I've watched LG play some scrims last night versus Optic Gaming where they dominated when they were on host. So like I said, internet gonna pay a big deal. Could go either way, honestly. Cole, very solid veteran team. 2 Black Ops 2 world champions on that roster. Definitely could go either way. But either way, we're going to move on to our next series. Probably one of my most favorite series that I'm going to be watching tomorrow is TK versus Envious. TK, who looked pretty good at the LAN qualifiers. Envy, who was the only team to go 6-0 at the LAN qualifiers. Aches Raps. I think he's even made it his, main picture on Twitter.
Yeah,
he definitely knows. He's feeling confident, and they always have those raps enabled. So predictions for TK versus MVS. You guys giving this one to TK, or are you guys leaning more for the boys in blue, as I could say? Tommy, I'll go to you. TK versus Envy.
TK versus Envy. I sure as hope like TK have a good season. Like I always kind of, I guess they're a team I have rooted for in the past. But every time I gain a little bit of faith, they kind of let me down, shall we say? But with this matchup, Envy are looking super hot in my opinion. I put them to win, but I think it'll be a close series.
Okay. Jen or Goalie, any opinions on TK versus Envy? You can just say who you think is going to win, or you can give a series score.
I'm still not sure on a couple players on TK. They still have to I think it's pretty inconsistent. Sometimes they do really well, sometimes they don't. So I still think Envy is a good powerhouse. I would go with them.
Okay. Goalie, any predictions as well?
Envy 3-1. I want to see how the new TK house works out for them, but they've been inconsistent in the past. Whenever I've lost full faith in TK, that's when they pull out a miracle. So if I lose full faith in them, they'll play great. So maybe I should do that, but I want both teams to play well. But I think it's going to be Envy 3-1.
Okay, I'm looking at some predictions in the chat. Mr. Phantom says 3-2 or MV 3-2 down to round 11 and Search and Destroy. So he's
sure Goalie would like that.
I honestly would
like all round 11 S&Ds.
Oh, that's true. Goalie would love that, wouldn't he?
It's all right. He knows I'll keep him company during the EU matches.
You better.
That's true.
You better.
Goalie needs friends. I'm kidding. Goalie has friends. We'll move on to Wednesday matches, which will have another 6 games. We'll go over these a little bit more fast. I apologize for those who are watching, but you'll be able to cover these. First series starting on Wednesday will be CLG versus H2K. So we obviously, a lot of people said, one series over the other in the previous game, H2K either winning or beating DT. When it comes to CLG, though, who apparently we all thought will be losing 3-0 to Optic. This game, though, what do you guys think? Who comes out of this one? I'm going to start off with Jen. CLG, H2K, who do you have coming out of that?
I think the players on CLG kind of need to prove something to me. I haven't really seen them play much, or they sort of fallen off a little bit on Advanced Warfare. I sort of like their comeback in Black Ops 3. And I still think H2K is a really, really talented team that maybe the underdog. So I said 3-0 H2K.
Okay. I like it. Goalie or Thomas?
I'm gonna say 3-2 H2K. Just because as Jen said, I haven't seen CLG play, and that's why I kind of said 3-0 against Optic. But yeah, I know Felony streams, but as I've said before earlier in the show, I really don't want to watch I don't know. I just really don't want to watch the Call of Duty streams except the official matches. So.
Okay, Thomas.
I went looking at my predictions with CLG over H2K. To give you a justification, why the hell not?
There you go. That's almost predictions ago. I like that. I like your honesty though. But to be honest, I personally said CLG. I think I had CLG 3-0 or 3-2ing H2K. Like I said, a lot of different predictions could go either way. It's a lot harder to make predictions because we haven't seen these guys play online yet. Once we have this first week down, we'll obviously have better predictions. But next game, OG versus Elevate. I think that's gonna be a really good game in my opinion. I'll go and give my prediction out of the way. Really quickly. I had OG actually 3-1ing Elevate. But I want to know your guys' thoughts. Who you guys think is going to come out on top when it comes to that game?
I said 3-2 OG.
Okay. I like it. Tommy,
I went with 3-1. I think Elevate can take maybe an uplink or S&D.
Good point. Mr. Golsif.
I have a lot of faith in the TR boys. So 3-2. 3-1. I think OG will still take the series, though.
Okay, I like it. Elevate's a really good team, though. Like I know a lot of people might say, "Oh, why don't you just say a 3 like CLG?" Well, Elevate looks really, really strong. I think they have a really good hardpoint game, unless they're playing a team who is a lot more dominant in slang, which I think Optic does. But definitely one of the best uplink teams and one of the most charismatic search and destroy teams as well. So, definitely got to give at least a couple things to when it comes to Elevate. But next game we have is Envy versus Cole. Pretty good game. There's complexity in the Envy guys. Definitely kind of clash. A lot of veterans on either side of those teams. But predictions early, Envy versus Cole. I'm going to go and give mine really quick. I'm going to give mine. I'm going to say Envy wins that 3-1. I'm not sure why I said 3-1. I just did. But do you guys have any opinions? One roster you prefer over another when it comes to Envy versus complexity? Goalie. What do you think?
3-2. Envy.
3-2 to Envy. Okay.
Yep.
Jen?
I don't want to change my prediction now. Probably go 3-2 complexity just because I've just seen them scrim and do wagers all day, every day. Like they're the main scrims that I watch, and I feel like they're grinding the game a lot more than anyone else. So maybe that might give them advantage. So.
I think those two teams are the teams that have played the most, at least publicly, have played the most.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because obviously these teams play off stream all the time, but like I don't think Proofy's ever streamed except Black Ops 2 when he was on Envy. Yeah. 100%.
I think too, and I'm glad that Jen mentioned like how much these two teams have been scrimming or just playing in general. I think like Parasite Nameless, like a 24-hour stream the other day, just playing Black Ops. You guys are 100% on the grind, but your opinion, Tommy, when it comes to Envy versus Cole.
Death Slayer in the chat pretty much summed it up for me about saying that how X got raps against Cole online. That's enough said for me. Envy are gonna take it.
Okay. So you're saying what? 3-0, 3-1, 3-2?
I put 3-2 in my predictions, but I'm feeling like a 3-1 maybe is on the cards or a 3-0.
But Death Slayer just convinced you completely with the
you should be my assistant.
We should have Death Slayer on the show to make your predictions. Well, go ahead and head to one of our last series being FaZe versus LG. A lot of us chose FaZe versus that Rise series. A couple of us chose Rise. But either way, FaZe versus LG, Luminosity Gaming. Who do you guys think is going to come on top of that one? I personally, for FaZe and LG, actually had a 3-2. That's only to the fact of LG being online, how good they are online, and how good their hardpoint game is. I think if LG can win the first hardpoint, that's what's going to make it close. But if not, I think they're going to be a little bit demoralized. FaZe is a very good search team, and I think Clay can kind of lead the guys there. But your guys' opinions, FaZe or LG, any early thoughts about that one? Who you guys think is going to win as far as the series goes?
What match are we on? FaZe versus LG.
I haven't watched either of these teams play, so it could, in my opinion, it could go either way.
I think FaZe for that matchup, personally.
Okay, Jen?
Yeah, I sort of agreed with you, Landon. Like, if FaZe takes the first hard point, I think that'll demoralize LG. But if LG take the first map, then I think it's going to be a momentum thing. And I said 3-2 FaZe.
Okay. We'll move on to Series 5, or one of the last two matches of Wednesday. Will be DT versus TK. Kind of like online team versus a pretty good LAN team as well, and TK in their own regard. But you guys' opinions for DT versus TK? I actually had DT winning that one, TK. That's basically only as far as online goes. And I hate to do that because I would normally pick DT, or I would normally pick TK when it comes to LAN. But DT is just a really, really solid online team. And I think there's a definition when it comes to online teams where it's just people automatically think when I say online, I mean their connection. And a lot of teams just play a lot better when they're, in their comfort zone. You see players who bring sweatpants. They just sit there. They want to sit the same way that they normally do when they play when they're at home, because you play a lot better when you're used to that same environment. So when I say online team, I'm not just saying their internet's better, but that obviously does come into play. I just want to make sure that's kind of pointed out. But either way, DT versus TK. I said DT. What do you say, Tommy? What do you think in that match?
I went with TK.
Okay.
I think Team House versus Team House.
Was it like,
who knows?
Where is DT located? Do we know? Because I think
I have no idea.
I think they recently moved. I don't know if anyone knows by chance, but
no, I have no idea.
Jin or Goalie? What is your guys' opinions for DT versus TK?
Goalie, go first.
3-1 DT.
Ladies first, Goalie.
Okay.
I'm just you're frozen like this for me. You have like the worst look in the world.
That's coming out now.
But yeah, 3-1 DT. I think they're a lot better online team.
Okay. And Jed?
Yeah, 3-1. I think, like I said, TK is sort of inconsistent. I'm not sure yet.
Okay. And now we finally reached our last match. I know we're gonna figure out a better platform for this, because it's just kind of like, oh hey, what do you think for this?
Well, the issue, and I said it right at the beginning when we started doing this, is that we have nothing to base it on right now. That's 2-3 weeks in, we'll be fine. We can talk our mouths off, but right now we can't, and it's a shame. But
thank you.
Beginning of the game.
It made me feel better about my predictions. But question mark versus Rise. I mean, I think honestly this is probably one of the easier predictions. Obviously, we don't know exactly what question mark's roster is exactly, but I said directly 3-0 Rise. I think Rise is one of the top 3 teams right now. I know they've been scrimming a lot versus Optic and Envy, so they're trying to get on the top of their game. I don't know exactly what question mark's roster is. That has helped me either way. But I said 3-0 to Rise. What is your guys' opinions? I'm gonna go with Jen first. Rise versus question mark. Who do you have?
I mean, easy 3-0 since the question mark is sort of a shaky roster right now, and even if there was no changes, it's still, if they're not getting along and they want to do roster changes, probably an issue there. So obvious 3-0.
Good point. Goalie.
3-0.
3-0.
3-0.
Tommy.
It's gonna be a victory to Rise. I could see it going 3-1, but I think definitely in favor of Rise.
Okay. Well, that is going to do it for our predictions. I know, like I said, what Goalie said, we'll be having a lot more basis to kind of judge our picks as the Call of Duty World League kind of breaks on. So make sure to tune in for the Call of Duty World League starting tomorrow. At least as for the NA side of things, you guys can follow COD World League, COD World League on Twitter to find out when all that stuff kind of starts. So make sure to do that. I think that's going to kind of do it for the show. We went a little bit longer than expected, but we really did enjoy having Jen on for the show today. And we're going to go ahead and give our outros really quickly. If you guys want to shout out any sponsors you guys are a part of, or any sponsorships you guys have, anyone that you're a part of in the community, maybe shout out like your Twitter or your YouTube, whatever you guys really want to do. So I'm going to start off with Goalie, then I'm going to go to Tommy, then Jen, and then I will kind of close out this podcast. So go ahead, Mr. Goalie, and close us out for the first one.
I'm going first? Sorry.
Yes.
Okay.
No, Goalie go first.
All right. Well, thank you guys for watching today's show. My name is Goalie. I run TheSTiKS. I run Codpedia. And I'm going to be crying for the next 2 days watching Call of Duty constantly, nonstop for the next 72 hours, 48 hours, actually. It's going to be hard, but it's going to be a fun grind. So thank you guys for watching the show today. We'll be back hopefully, or tomorrow. Tomorrow. We'll be back next week. Yeah, we're doing a show while I'm watching league matches. I'm going to be all zombie mode.
Was it? Is it going to be a goal?
But yeah, we'll be back next week. I don't know what time, but hopefully we won't be a little late. So
good. All right, Mr. Tommy.
Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you for Jen coming on. I've enjoyed the chat today. I've really enjoyed the activity. If we can keep that up, that is absolutely awesome. In terms of shout outs to XL, that's pretty much it. I'm rooting for the boys in European CWL, and I'm expecting big things. I'll be keeping Goalie alive over the next couple of days by convincing him that he can do it.
You just need to send me like tubs of G Fuel, like constantly, like nonstop.
Does that cost money?
Like I got a good amount over there on that dresser over there. I know.
Only I can see.
But,
When are you sending me some?
Give me your address. Give me your address.
I'll hook you up with some XL merch.
Okay.
There we go.
Like a trade. It's like a 2-for-1 trade. All right. Jen, if you want to give your outro.
Oh, thank you guys so much for having me on the show. Super big fan of all of you guys, and I had a great time discussing, predictions that we have no idea about. But
as soon as you show up.
And the funner facts were really cool, and I'm glad I could teach you guys some science. Shout out to Jerky XP, sponsor plug here. Not even my sponsor, but they're great friends of mine, great people, and they want to help the community. Awesome. And yeah, that's it. Cool stuff. Bye. Bye.
Show ends, but
better than my outro.
Thank you so much for watching. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's been your dude, your bro, your pal, your ally. It's been Landon. Like I said, shout out to the Six fan for being in the chat all day. Like Tommy mentioned, you guys were super active when the stream first tuned on, which is always really, really good. And we're really happy to kind of be doing this every weekly, or do this a lot more. And also, be sure to kind of check out. We'll be having an announcement coming on the TheSTiKSLive Twitter about a possible Friday show, which will be very professional when it comes to stuff like that. And they might spot a lot of the Sticks fan members that you might not have seen a little bit, kind of on that show. So make sure to stay tuned for that. But like I said, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Shout out to both Scuff and G Fuel. Make sure to use code TheSTiKS or TheSTiKSLive. To get percentages off of either of those products. We really appreciate the support that they give us, and you guys make sure to get those products, as well. We really would appreciate Goalie for hosting the show and Jen for being a guest. It was a really, really fun episode, and I learned a lot. I'm gonna take that bacterial question and
you're gonna quiz your friends.
I am. I'm gonna go outside and just start asking people on the random street about that. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at TheSTiKSLive. We will see you all next week. Goodbye, everyone. Peace. Boop. Boop. There we go. It was this. We went like this. It was that. It
only missed it. He just has his head to the side while everyone's booping.
Poke you in the face.
It was like.